Welcome to War Commander Unshackled True Believers Review. Today, we are going to review and give our thoughts and opinions about the Operation True Believers. We're at the halfway mark, the midway point, and so today we've got a panel here to discuss our thoughts. Today with myself on the panel, we've got Anton, we've got David, Dark Shadows, we've got Champ, we've got Hulk Smash, and we got myself, Dabo Phoenix. So I'm going to start on the panel and see who's actually done the event, and also what are your thoughts on it. So let's start with Anton. How would you rate the event, and did you do much of it? Yeah.
Okay there, everybody. Thanks for the invite again. Yeah, the event I'll give 7.5 out of 10. I gave it 7 the last event, so it's a little bit better. The DCs are slightly less, and it is a good wee challenge. Some of the bases are tricky. Again, a wee bit boring near the end because some of the bases you just put in 10 peacekeepers and that's the base over. 20 minutes, it's game over. So a little bit more of a challenge would be nicer, but all around there, not a bad wee event, and I've been around the event 4 times on to my 5th.
Nice. 7.5. Good. So I'll get an average at the end. Who's up next? Next one is David. How would you rate the event, and what did you get, and all that fun stuff?
Oh, actually, I'm still doing the event. I'm taking my sweet ass time doing it, considering there's nothing there we really need other than, if you're a collector of trophies, the trophy and the Herald tech. The last couple of events have been catch-up events. There has been a slowdown on content release, which is what we have asked for a long time. For those that are bitching now that we have no real new units other than the dog, which really is a remake of what the dog we had before, just bigger hell. Shut the hell up. You bitched for content slowdown. You got it. Now you're bitching because there's no new units. I'll give the event.
Kind of fading in and out right there.
I said I'll give the event an 8 on this, just because of what it is. It's a catch-up event for all of us high levels that have all the toys. Granted, the only thing we have to get is the Herald Tech, the trophy, and the dog a couple of times for going through. Okay, my academy's been stagnant for the past 2 months, so now I have something to upgrade. Granted, the upgrade times on the dog are ridiculous. Other than that, it's an 8. Next.
All right, so we got a 7.5, 8. Champ, you're up.
Can't argue with that.
What was that?
I said you could not argue with David's comments.
Oh yeah, definitely a catch-up event, and hey, we did ask for slower content, so we're not getting a big tank or big air unit or something like that. So, hey, Champ, you around?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
All right.
Rating on the event and the prizes and all that fun stuff.
Yep. Prizes are all right. I've done it 2 times. I'd give it an 8.
All right. You have fun, or why'd you give it an 8?
It's fairly easy. The defensive waves are way too easy. I think the higher level tiers should be a little bit tougher, more challenging, but it's just catch up, so it's good.
All right. What's your name? Hulk Smash. What are your thoughts?
I give it a 7. I mean, like most people said on the panel, it's catch up, and it's what a lot of people have asked for, like slow the content down, slow the prizes down. The event, it's not as challenging. It's easy. I mean, I'm only doing my 2nd run through now, but if I wanted to, I could probably be onto my 3rd or 4th. But I'm taking my time with it, as because there's only like so many prizes. There's only the trophy, the Herald Tech, and dogs, which is all right. It's okay. A lot of people ask for it to slow down. The event's alright. I give it a 7 for overall.
All right, so we got 7.5, 8, 8, and a 7. We got 2 new people to the panel. We got Debo and John. So, Debo, how would you rate the event, and what are your thoughts, and what did you get, if anything?
As of right now, I'm gonna go with a 7. I did 2 playthroughs, got the trophy, got the Herald Tech. Got a few of the dogs. I agree with David. The upgrade time on the dogs is outrageous. I mean, 3 days, over 3 days per level is kind of ridiculous. But then again, we don't have anything to upgrade in there, so I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, I would prefer it to go a little faster, but whatever. As of right now, I'm struggling to want to keep going. I do understand that we get the tokens after each completion or whatever, but I really think if they wanted to keep people playing and keep going in this event, they should have put the tokens in the event store and just ranked them out as XP. People could buy what they want, people can max out what they want, but just playing through, getting 2 tokens each. I mean, hell. What's the count to get it from 10 to 20? What is it? 55 tokens per unit.
55 tokens per unit. Yep.
Okay, so at 55 tokens per unit, if they put them in the event store and charged us, 75,000 XP or even 100,000 XP per token, I mean, people would have the want or the will to grind out and keep playing. They could be, they could look at it and say, well, shit, I can't get everything, finished out today, but I can get my liberators done. Okay, boom, I get my liberators done. Now next month's event, we're moving on to Corpus, and people can sit there and pick and say, oh, well, shit, I want to get my Hades done. You know what I mean? So it's the whole, from the beginning of this whole token system, I've been against it, and if they changed it just a little bit and like I said, just put it in the event store, I think we would have a reason to keep playing. Because like I said, as of right now, I got the trophy, I got the tech. I'm struggling. I can't figure out a reason why to keep playing.
What did you give it? What rating did you give it?
I gave it a 7.
All right. We got a member on the panel. His name is John. He says that apparently doesn't have a mic, but he did type inside chat what he thought of the event. So I will read and quote. I'd give the event a 10, being that there's been no needed maintenance, and the event is pretty easy, but the grind is very boring. I'm not sure what level John is, but I'll add that into my. So far, with the panel before myself, we're at a 7.9 average for the event. Myself, I'd have to give it a 7.5, 8, because I'm not a big fan of the survivor, having to use survivor units, because we've got liberators, hammers, bone saws. We got detonators and disruptors, and none of those are really that great against going up against the sentinel stuff. You're taking the survivor is the weakest faction, and sentinels is the strongest faction, so it's like a David and Goliath type deal. And a lot of us, even the higher players, have been just PK spamming the last 2 waves, and nobody wants to sit there and do that and grind the res and the thorium for that. Now the res has been pretty good in the event, but you got to go out and hunt thorium, and just for PKs, just for the last 2 waves. And like the Juggernaut, what was it? Yeah, they throw a Juggernaut in that last wave, so if you're not careful, that can kill off your stuff as well. And it's also on aggro, so as you get close to it, he'll start charging at you, and there's just way too much stuff in there for measly hammers and libs to take without taking damage. Like, you will take damage in this event for the last couple waves, where like if you're, I can't wait to get with the Corpus or the Sentinels, because then you can be a little bit more strategic about using your units. But like the survivors, their air really isn't that good. They have the bone saw, which will suicide into it, but it doesn't really have a lot of health. Where like the Furies, they have at least the drones. The Sentinel, they got the Herald. So, but the survivors, they really don't have good air, so you just kind of got to power through the event. And yeah, I 100% agree with Debo. I'm not a big fan of the tokens, but if they made them a lot more readily available, put them in the event store, heck, even invasion, like every completion of invasion gives you 2 tokens or something like that. They got to make them a lot more readily available. Because I got my trophy, I got my Herald tech, and I was done with the event. Now I'm just waiting for Omega Herald bases, and that's another thing. They gotta speed that bar up a little bit. We've had 1 drop per day, I think, and normally we get 2 or 3 drops per day because all of 49 is generally doing the event, and they're grinding out the event and all that. And so, yeah, that's my review of the event. And so with all of our reviews, we've got a 7.9 still. So woohoo! Now we have.
I will say one thing, and probably everybody will agree with me on this one. The PK cooldown time has to change, regardless of what Kixeye thinks. I mean, we got these new missiles with 8 seconds or 3 seconds cooldown time. I would say, honestly, a 30-second cooldown time on the PKs would be relevant. But with that being said, and with all the, as Doc would put it, time bombs in the code, that if you change one thing, it breaks something else completely. I'm not sure if that could be done. You know, but 30 seconds Kix's eye would be an acceptable cooldown time on the PKs. So that
Especially when you got to use a lot of them on the last 2. Well, when it's strategic to use them on the last 2 waves.
Yeah, I mean, it's strategic enough, but yeah, that being said, a 30-second cooldown time would be acceptable in my eyes. And probably about 90% of the community would probably have to agree with me on that. I'm not expecting a 5-second cooldown timer on it, but, you know,
that'd be nice.
That require Thor with 3-second, the 5-second, the 8-second, or whatever it is. The cooldown time needs to change on those older missiles. So, that being said, that's enough for now.
All right, so now we've got some public service announcements and some things that happened in the forum the past few days. And so I'm going to turn it over to David Dark Shadows, and he will continue with, he's got some things he wants to share that we found in the forums.
All right.
Take it away, you are on present. Can you zoom that in? Like really big, so it shows up on YouTube. This way they can read along.
All right. Hopefully that's big enough for you guys. So, the True Believer Trophy XP pricing changes. Commander, so as many of you realize, the War Trophy issued during normal events has an increased price with the past event cycle. This was purely accidental and an oversight on our behalf. The pricing will be set to 800k XP, standard during next week's maintenance. For the use it or lose it, all players who have already purchased the trophy will be compensated with an ending balance that maintenance during that maintenance downtime. So in other words, if you already purchased it for 1.4 million, you're going to get a credit of, let's see here, what is it, 600?
600,000. So everyone watching right now, make note of that. You're going to get 600. You should get 600,000 XP on your use it or you lose it. So if it's not, you'll make a forum post. If there is already somebody that beat you to the forum post, just comment on their thing and just let them know, hey, I didn't get it. Again, don't be in all that bashful in the forums, but let them know, hey, we didn't get it.
Put a ticket in. Well, there you go.
Next thing, the perfect size. So scroll if you can zoom this one in as well. Before you continue, we have a new Kixeye employee. Apparently, the name is Sobo Cop. Woohoo! A new person that gets to meet War Commander Unshackled.
Check with Scobo Cop, stability, performance, and action.
We don't generally have a good track record with new Kixeye employees, but
we will see. This is Wrong Thinker here. Hello, Commanders. Wrong Thinker here. Below is a deep dive into some of the technical issues that have been plaguing War Commander as of late, and perhaps more importantly, what we're going to do about it. I'm actually not qualified to speak at so technical a level, or so without further ado, introduce our exceptional tech director, Sobocop, Wrong Thinker. Update 721 for those who have requested it. Here's the English translation. Most of the stability and performance issues faced by community can be traced to major behind-the-scenes systems called game services. Over the coming months, we'll be tearing the system apart and putting it back together in a far more stable, performant way. Okay. While we can't fix a major system like this overnight, it is not officially a major tech initiative, and we can expect improvements to stability, performance to be ongoing over the next 6 months, with some of these improvements happening much, much sooner than that. We want to share the relatively technical details surrounding the issues and our battle plan for solving these issues, which is covered in the post below. So this is Scobocop, I guess, speaking. Over the last several months, you brought a yada yada, been wrecked with issues, restarts, bugs. These issues have caused a lot of frustration within the community, giving the impression that Kickside doesn't give a shit. Yeah, I'm going to say it the way he probably says it. Care about the future of the game affects these issues you all have on you. Fortunately, this is not true. Not only are we tackling these issues, but this post is the start of us being as transparent as possible about what the problems actually are and our plans to solve them, both the short and long term. Starting with the problem itself, the component responsibility for these issues is with one of our systems, game services. Since I joined the engineering team about a year ago, so he's joined the team, he's been with Kickstarter for over a year. And this is the first time we've heard from him. So about a year ago, as the technical director, the team has been able to get our hands around the other components in our stack, the client, the battle server, and the data game server. The game data itself, game services, however, has been a lot more complicated or more complex due to the few reasons. The Scola code used was written such that it is difficult to read, diagnose, and trace. In other words, the old code that they've patched, repatched, patched again, and patched once more to try to fix some of the issues is getting the better of them. That's what that means for those that aren't so technical. So in other words, you're putting a Band-Aid on top of a Band-Aid on top of a Band-Aid. It finally will catch up. The game services is intended to be clustered, but designed in such a way that if one cluster member fails, the entire cluster fails. Obviously, this is a poor design, and we're in the process of fixing this. In other words, you have multiple computers acting as one. If one of those computers fails, it brings down that whole cluster of computers. All right, that's what that means. It's, in other words, if one computer fails, they're all going to fail, and thus it's going to bring down one of the systems, whether it be the game server itself, whether it be the tactical server, aka battle server, whether it be your attack logs, anything that contains your attacks. So they're trying to weed out what is causing the whole cluster to go down. Okay. So the issues we are currently seeing, some of our sector servers get into the state where they cannot get Alliance data. This is the most serious issue, as the data is intended to be cached locally, which should make accessing the data instantaneous. However, these requests are simply timing out. So that is an issue, basically referring to what happens above when one of the servers crashes in the cluster. That's gonna happen. So they're working on fixing that code. Sector servers are using a lot of RAM, way more than warranted. So that being said, I think everybody can figure that one out. It's like packing a VW bug with like 40 freaking clowns. So that's what's happening is the servers are using up a lot more memory than they're supposed to. They have memory leaks in their code. Now, whether or not they can track that down and what's causing it and fix it is another story. I'll give them a little faith. That is a major issue right there and warrants a fix across the board, whether it benefits Kixeye, whether it benefits us. In this instance, it's benefiting Kixeye and giving the players what they're getting. Stuck in loading sector, stuck in attack, stuck in defense mode, whatever. Sector servers will sometimes have multiple seconds of garbage collection event, which kicks the sector host out of the cluster. Point number 2, from the first numbers listed above for why this is bad news. Okay, one PC crashes in the cluster, it causes the rest of it. So they're going to try to fix that because it's not good to sit there and have 15 maintenances in one night just to fix one thing. So in the short term, we'll be doing a number of things during maintenance windows to reduce the likelihood of needing additional restarts. All right, turning back on the throttle, limiting the number of players that can log into the system at a given time will help reduce the issues with retrieving Alliance data. Players may experience this in the past. We were rejected some logins while players came back online after maintenance. We do not like this experience and had fixed that part of the system that was the bottleneck originally, requiring the throttle. Now we have a new bottleneck, which we are also fixing. We also need to fall back to throttling temporarily. So in other words, when you guys after maintenance come on and it says, what's the error message? Server overload. That's the reason why. You don't want to sit and hammer a server over and over again with login requests, and that basically slows the game down. All right, dislocating relocation for half an hour, 30 minutes after an update deployment. This is an activity that puts extra strain on our servers as caches are warming up. This will be temporary until they remove the bottleneck. So in other words, relocation of your base puts a strain on the servers as they are coming back up. Thus the reason for disabeling the relocation for 30 minutes. I'm happy with that. I can deal with that, and I think most of us can. So point back to number 1, throttling the servers. We can deal with that. We've all dealt with a system overload. Okay. Turning on some profiling tools in the production so we can inspect the heap state of a live server. We can use this to find out what is taking up so much RAM. If we cannot reduce the sector server RAM utilization, we can minimize the garbage collection events. So that basically is they are enabling logging on these servers to find out what is causing all the RAM being used up on the server, whether it be from too many login attempts, whether it be from relocating of your base right after an event or right after a maintenance.
David, a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Whose servers are they? What servers are they? Who owns the servers? Are they Kixeye's own, or they rented, or the Amazon's, or the?
I'm pretty sure they're rented. Last I thought they were at Amazon. I'm not sure where they are at now. I could have sworn I read somewhere, and now I could be wrong, that they were switching over to a company called SlayerSoft, which is a very big internet service. They're not an internet service provider. They are a web hosting company. So I actually had to work for one of the companies that they purchased a while back. It was called Everyone Servers. Now,
Most likely they have their own servers and they're just running a data center.
Yeah, most likely they're their own computers. Most likely it's just a data center that is hosting it. So the bandwidth is there. So let's go on to number 4, optimizing our use of JVM on a sector server to minimize garbage data collection. Well, as everybody would probably want to know, what does JVM stand for? Being in the tech world, that stands for Java Virtual Machine. So yes, it is a Java-based game to a certain extent with a Flash overlay. But so they're basically trying to optimize the code for the Java to hopefully minimize all the other stuff above. So it's going to be a long haul for these guys, and I feel sorry for them because they're basically rewriting the code in a sense, trying to fix it, trying to get rid of all the time bombs in the game. Making the servers reconnect to a cluster after a garbage collection event, and properly implement the intended design of a true cluster. This should reduce the damaging effect on other members. Refer back up top to where when one computer fails in the cluster, the whole cluster fails. Let's see if they can do that. That's a good thing if they can fix that. So, all right, long term, we want to change the underlying architecture of many subsystems in the game services originally. Game services was designed with the idea that if data resides on the server in memory, players will have faster access to it. While that's true in theory, there's a lot of complexities involved in making sure that in-memory state is synced upon inspection of the implementation. This complexity was not sufficiently addressed. Additionally, there is always a small latency price to pay, which using modern in-memory data stores such as Redis. What is Redis? I'd have to look it up to be quite honest. But in other words, it is saying that what is being sent to one server should be sent to all of them. And it's not happening as fast as they want it to. Which, if refer to the above, if one cluster crashes, they're going to have to reboot that whole entire cluster. Thus, it gives that garbage a chance to collect. So anyway, as we are moving forward towards stateless, stateless architecture that widely used in the web world, we can move server state out of GS memory and into modern databases while increasing performance and reliability. Case in point, leaderboards are now much faster after receiving this treatment. While we still have work to do on leaderboard UI, we may have noticed that the lists there load faster and lazy loading more rankings properly. We also have made weekly payouts more reliable. Yeah, I will have to say that weekly payouts have been more reliable. I've been getting them without having to put a ticket in to get mine and have to provide screenshots of the before, the during, and the after, and then 24 hours later, another one. So, in other words, it sounds like they're taking the databases and optimizing the database servers to provide this more seamlessly. I think they're putting more servers in place that will reduce the lag and optimizing the SQL servers in the background. So, specifically, we're going to make the following changes over the next few months. Simplify our alliance subsystems, similar to how we simplified the leaderboards. This should improve performance of leaderboard queries and eliminate what should be unnecessary waiting periods to help caches warm during deployment. In other words, reduce downtime and more reliability maintenance windows. Let's hope so. More server state out of sector server memory and into a fast database such as Redis that will make it easier to add new features, reduce load times, and troubleshoot existing problems. So in other words, they're changing database servers. That's going to be interesting without losing anything. Remove the need for GS to share states between all cluster members. Eliminate failure scenario when one member gets kicked out of the cluster. Refer up to above. As one server goes down in that cluster, they all go down. So if that gets fixed, then we won't see all these other issues. Integrating our recent added faction service into sector server, so we can simplify the deployment steps and reduce the inter-process communication. So in other words, reduction of servers, give the other servers more power, more RAM, faster CPUs, and that way You know, it's going to help them cut down on their cost on servers, because at this point, I'm pretty sure they have a cluster of SQL servers. They have servers for battle. They have servers for gameplay. They have servers for pretty much every other thing. Please bear with us as we continue to switch out the guts and GS instead outlined above will help make our releases more stable in the short term and unlock better performance and higher development velocities, which include fixing bugs, closing exploits in the long terms. Thank you for continued and significant patience as we work with the War Commander world we share. So, and God's cup of what? So, if anybody has questions, shoot them to me. Let's see if we can do it.
Can you scroll up? I think it's the first one. It's the second set of 1, 2, and 3.
All right.
Right there. Issues we're currently seeing.
Uh-huh.
The first line, when I read all this, it says, sometimes our sector servers get in a state where they cannot get alliance data. This is the most serious issue, as data is not, yada, 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 the rest of that stuff. So, alliance data, tags missing, raids not working, that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I want to ask you on the panel, is that the most important issue that you're facing in War Commander? Or is there something else that you're facing in War Commander that is greater than that? Because to me, that's all cosmetic stuff. I mean, the raid boosts are nice, but like tags missing and all that,
The biggest.
Well, what you might not understand is that, well, okay, it might be alliance data. Well, that might not just include tags, raid boosts, and all that other stuff. Alliance data could also mean the data being shared between the servers itself. Okay, I mean, it's not very clear how he worded it, but I'm going to think that is the sharing of data between the servers itself.
Their alliance with their servers or and wherever it is.
The most important issue to me is the workshop bomb. When you can't go into your base, you can't defend your base, it's a bunch of crap. That's the biggest issue to me.
Also,
we did our last raid run, and like just to snipe tunes or even go in your base, right? Even though event scout a base, you get the workshop bomb.
The workshop bomb, yes. Kixeye says it is a glitch. I'm sorry to say, Kixeye, it is not a glitch.
No, that's what needs to be.
Every time you write into Kixeye, they tell you, we are aware of this. It is a glitch in the game. Yada yada yada. It's not a glitch.
No,
it is
they've told me because I live overseas. That's the problem.
Jesus.
That's what they told me.
It's because
that part, and it's basically it'll work sometimes, and sometimes it won't work. And then we get this here to say, and it's just basically telling customer support that they're a pack of liars, basically, because it's not that. Everybody's experiencing that.
Yeah.
No
there's something new too. It even happens when you attack a tune now.
Oh yeah, that's been going on maybe a week or two. And I think I've been having that probably about 3 weeks now, because it's been definitely since our last rave run, which would have been a week ago, and then I've been having that, a week or two before that. Because there's a lot of times people got me last week where they wouldn't have got me if I didn't get workshop bombed. And it's not even that it's just the workshop bomb. It's you load in 2-3 minutes later, then you get the workshop bomb. And so it like freezes you.
If you can't your own, your Juggernaut or your Phalanxes or things like that, you're scared to bring them out onto the map.
Yep.
I don't bring them out.
I don't bring them out either.
I attack with my buggy all the time.
That's what I do, and it's very costly. So it is. So it's a big advantage there to Kixeye this happening. So it is there because people are. It's 38 gold for a herald.
Well, like he said, this is not something that can be repaired or fixed overnight. Now, as they slowly secure the workshop, as they slowly fix the game lag, the disconnects, and whatnot, it's basically, if anybody ever loads this game up and plays it for a little bit of time, 30 to 45 minutes roughly, look at your memory usage of your Flash player.
Yeah.
It's sitting in a gig. Imagine if your system is sitting at a gig of memory, right, of usage, and your CPU is spiking. Think what the Kixeye servers are happening to them. They're using up a lot of RAM.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure these systems are probably running on a Linux machine with 64 to 128 gigs of RAM in each. If they're not, I hope they're going to upgrade it to those.
I'm playing on a Dell laptop, and my shit is humming, man. It's like fucking blowing hot air like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, it's CPU intensive. Flash is a CPU hog, especially when you're in an attack. I mean, it's constantly sending back and forth.
I got many people that I know, they've got older computers, and their computers run at 100% when they, like 100% CPU usage with just to load the game. So that pretty much puts them out of the fight for toon battle, like toon versus toon battles. They can still do the event and stuff like that, but
the other thing that you have to,
they don't have means to upgrade their computer, and so then therefore they're stuck at a disadvantage because of the hardware.
Well, you also got to understand the loading of the game. It is downloading that SWF file every time you connect. Every time. That's why it takes that long to load. Some people sit loading for how long? Depending on their connection speed. I mean, if you're sitting at 5 megs down, it's going to take anywhere from probably 5 to 10 minutes to download sometimes. This game is not for these slow speeds. I always say to people that, oh, why is my game running so slow? Why is my game running so slow? Well, let's check your speed. Well, they're sitting at, 10 meg down and 1.2 meg up. Well, yeah, your upload speed needs to be at least, personally, from my experience, it needs to be at least 1.5 or higher. 3 is preferable. 5 is great. When you hit 10 up, 15, 20 up, you're doing great. So it's not just the game itself, it is your internet connection. Kixeye does, and I will say this and get spammed for it probably, but Kixeye is correct in stating sometimes it's your computer. Well, not necessarily your computer to say, it is your connection speed. So if people get better connection speeds that are saying, oh, well, what's your connection speed? Well, I have 1.5 up and 10 down. Well, upgrade your provider.
I'm paying the top dollar for freaking Comcast. So
you have business grade, right? My speed right now, I did a speed test, which, hang on, I will do a speed test for everybody to see. Cover my IP.
And now we all know where you live.
I really don't care. Come on. So now, of course,
are you wired or wireless?
This is wired. If you're running wireless, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop running wireless.
Yeah, I get with Comcast. I get see, you're closer to Kick. I guess you're running local, but I get double that with my Comcast. I usually get about 220, and then I get about 10.
So this being said, I mean, I got 114 down, 5 and almost 6 meg up. Okay. That being said, the download speed is great. The upload is but it does the job. You need at least, honestly, 3 meg up or better for the game performance to even consider doing PvP. Honestly, because without that, the upload is what you need to transmit what you're doing to the servers. Now, granted, this is with Google Hangouts running, so my upload speed would be a little higher along with my download.
Now, one thing I do like that they mentioned in here I think they've been saying this for a while now, but this time I don't know. But it seems like every few months they give us a carrot to like the carrot in front of our nose. So this time it says, just give us a little bit more time. Just give us a little bit more time. I think that carrot this time is they said they're going to try and be more transparent about everything and all that stuff. And I like that. We've only been asking for more communication for many, 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 many months now. That was one of Shadow's big issues with Kickside was the lack of communication.
Well, with Ron Sinkerson, he's not technical enough to talk like this. Honestly, I think he is. It's just not in his job forte, really, for this part. I mean, he is one of the lead coders. And in coding, you have to know what you're doing in a sense. Because if you miss a period, you miss an exclamation point, whatever in the game, it's going to fuck up. Thus, the reason why, honestly, Kickside needs to bring back the trusted testers again. And granted, honestly, make it a select few to test. I wouldn't do your top coiners. I wouldn't do your bottom barrel feeders. Pick the mediocre guys that sit there and actually play the game, that know how this game works. Because a coiner is just going to sit there and coin his crap back to full health. He doesn't care. So, bring back the trusted testers, making them the mediocre players. So that way, they don't have to sit there and go, oh, yeah, we coined this, but it doesn't work if you don't coin it. Now that's a bug. The non-coiners are going to sit there and give you the honest truth of what they think about this game, what they think about the updates,
and how much damage they take. You know what I mean? What's good for them and what's bad for them.
Right. What's good for Kickside is bad for us. What's good for us is bad for Kickside. Well, you get that mediocre player that comes on every so often, 2 or 3 times a week, that doesn't coin, or may coin a little bit. So you get that guy that coins a little bit here and there, and have him test it out, and he'll say, "Hey, what you're about to implement is for shit. It's not going to work. You're with the community in an uproar over this." I mean, granted, we've got our slowdown now of content, which now people are starting to bitch about. We need more. No, we don't need any more. The content slowdown is perfect. We don't need 3 freaking hero units in an event. We don't need the mini event. We don't need Onslaught. That's gone the way it went to. The event slowdown would be great. So that way we have chances to bring up our units. But I mean, Onslaught was a nice thing. We had our units got repaired. Get rid of the mini events. Get rid of the invasion. Bring back the Onslaught. Give us, instead of thorium or metals, give them upgrade token. You have the boss bases that come out. Yes, you get tech from them. Yes, you get Omega parts or Elite parts. That's all fine and dandy, but add a token in there as a payout for doing a boss base or a 80 Valcraft. Something give them back in exchange for. We had at one point in time, you did a 40 Thorn. You got, what was it, 200 medals?
I don't even do Onslaught anymore. It's not even worth it.
No,
I think Onslaught's finished, isn't it?
But the advantages of the Onslaught was our units were repaired. Do you really want to do an invasion and take 20 hours of repair time after you're done? No. But in order to get that high upgrade time, to get that low time to get the upgrade tokens now, just like the upgrade time on the dog is outrageous. 3.5 days to upgrade at 1 level. What's it going to be? 3.5 days throughout the whole thing?
I like with the academy. With the academy, they've been doing pretty good, I think, because they give us one unit Then they give us 2 or 3 months before they give us the next unit. Like the last unit we had in the academy was Spartan, so they give us plenty of time to get it to max. So even if the dog takes 2 months, as long as they don't release anything for it. I mean, a lot of us are sitting with academy did for a while.
We also have the split now where you're air and ground.
Yep, that too. And I've been able to get a lot more stuff upgraded because of that.
I mean, we all have.
One curiosity.
Question for the.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Chip.
I just want to say one curiosity I have is I want to see a max legendary unit with max tech. I'm just curious.
Asking for a friend, right?
Yeah.
Talking about legendary and all that, the new Shadow Ops prize, the vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. What are your thoughts on it?
Thoughts on the legendary units?
No, the new Shadow Ops prize, the new aircraft.
Oh, is that what it is? I don't know. I haven't even seen it yet, to be quite honest.
It's supposed to be a VTOL unit. That's basically all they told us.
So.
And we care about how it takes off or lands. Why? Because that affects us in what kind of gameplay?
Oh,
Debo, it tells you that it can go in the hangar. That's about it.
I'm just saying that.
It's actually not going to take off in the base because it's already going to be floating in the air. But we know it's going to hover in the air like a plane. But then as you move it, it's going to shift its little thruster things.
So it's a Fury?
Yeah, it's going to work like the Fury and the Apollo. Like if you actually watch the animation as they fly, it hovers, but then as they fly, their little thruster shifts. But more importantly for us, game-wise, is it goes in the hangar as well.
It's like a Harrier.
Yeah, it's exactly like a Harrier jump jet.
Oh, I'm not stupid. I know what the hell it is. It just I don't see the point. It doesn't really matter. They're giving us a fucking air unit. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, another one.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like we need another air unit. I got a question for the county.
All I wanted those damn fucking stingers. Why is it so hard? Why can't they give us the fucking stingers?
The archers?
Or the archers? Yeah, sorry.
Those would be nice.
Yeah, I go into a base and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's just a couple archers, and then poof, Harold's taking serious damage. But I'm actually glad you brought those up because I'm done. I'm glad that we're done at least for now with those archers and the sidewinders and the billy goats and all that crap, and going back to like normal units that like we're facing units that we can actually have, because this way, because like you can't go bar test the highway zealot units, but we could go bar test like the current units. So like for a medium and low level player, like for the defensive waves, you can test your base against these kind of units, and then even attacking, the bases had the normal units in them, and they didn't have like the sidewinder and the archer that we can't have. So this way, our units don't take extra damage because of damage buffs. Like an archer, a bunch of archers, for instance, should not drop a herald, but it will if you leave them.
Yep.
What is that? The billy goat should not. I mean, it kills infantry pretty well, but like it shouldn't do too much against a sidewinder or even like a heavy tank. But it will if you leave them sit for a while.
What's the range on that thing? It's like 900 or something.
Yeah, it seems like it. Like 900 to 1,000. I was on there's the layout where it's like an island on the right, and then like the land on the left side, and there's like a little water, water channel separating the two, so you can't.
Oh yeah.
You can't go from the left side to the right side. So unless you have like an air or a floating unit, because I can't. Valkyries would be able to go over there, but they have that one, and he was on like the middle of that island, and he was hitting me almost at the left side of that base. So I was just, because I killed all the other stuff, and I was just kind of testing the range of him, and he was firing off. I was maybe a few inches from the left side, and he was in the middle of that island, and he was hitting me. Well, he was shooting his rockets off to try to hit me. And
I remember that base.
Now it was easy to kill him because it's the old mortar baiting technique, but still, it just gets annoying when you got other crap firing at you. I'm glad they're done with the high zealots. I got a question. Oh, go ahead.
One thing I am waiting for is wall upgrades.
Oh yeah, what'd you guys think of the new walls that we had?
The Sentinel
Or-
walls? They're pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be when we change factions. You'll basically you may get extra walls. This is the way of introducing them. And when you change factions, those walls will either go away or change. I still like the fact that we don't need our dozer to upgrade walls, but I'm pretty sure that'll change because you should be able to change your rocket silos. Should be able to change your turrets without, with an instant 5 seconds. They don't need the dozer.
everything that's 5 seconds shouldn't be locked from being built. Like on our tech center, if we've got something that's thorium, it should upgrade. Right now, yesterday I was fighting with, my workshop was busy. I got the Herald Tech, but I couldn't upgrade it because I had to wait 12 hours or so for my workshop. And I would like to simultaneously do this, like doing both at the same time, but like I have to shut my workshop down while I upgrade it, and then I can open my workshop back up and start upgrading something again. And that's lost time for upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can split the tech center, the air and the ground, which they never did, that could be something. They should be able to do that to make it where we could, because we can upgrade our we can do a lot of stuff with our dozer that it's instant while the dozer's being used. So just apply the same ideology to like tech center and hangar and workshop and all that, filling your rocket silos. And also with the rocket silos, make them infinite like our heavy guns.
Yeah, they were probably intending to do that, but if you think about it, we got all those upgrades to those platforms and to those turrets, which probably broke them in refilling. Because I know there was occasions where we all got in events where it wasn't firing or it fired all the time and you never had to reload. So with the upgrades, probably broke it and they just said, screw it. Let's just make it to where we don't have to refill them anymore. The only problem with that is in the dead player bases or whatever, is those now just refill. So it's probably a way for the people that had the really strong bases, even with their offline or whatnot, would kill something, or cause damage. It's their way of getting gold from the dead bases. Is the other thing I'm thinking.
I was thinking they could do it where like the last, because how they used to do the thorium, every time you got to level 10, your unit got something new. Like right now, it looks like they're bringing it back with the attack dog at level 10. The new attack, is it called the war dog or something?
Yeah, war dog.
Okay, there we go. That's why I can call it the proper name. So the war dog, it gives you a concussion at level 10. So like strategically, you could send that up against a bunker. Hint, hint, wink, wink. But that's a level 10 bonus that you get because you put it to level 10. Well, I was thinking with the rocket silo, once you max it, give it infinite ammo or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen because a lot of us have got them maxed. So I know I do.
I got a level 1 rocket silo because I was so adamant against building the other one because I was like, ugh. Because even I think it was even back when Data King was around, they gave us the second one, and I'm like, I'm never going to build this thing because it just looks weird in my base and all this. And I built it the other day, probably about 6 months ago, I want to say, and it hides very nicely behind my CC. So I might actually plan my base for that.
You can hide
Nowadays,
two under there too. That's what you can hide your Hades under it.
Yep, that too. And because now everyone's doing herald attacks, and they're going to be really doing herald attacks now that the herald hits air and ground.
Yep.
What I'm gonna do honestly for base defense, I'm gonna sit there for like an hour and hide my Hades underneath my turrets and my buildings and all that, and then it's gonna look like an empty base. And since nobody plays with sound on, they're not gonna see my Hades until it's too late. until they start losing health.
All right. So since we got some of the different people on this panel in the last show, how many of you think this Halloween event we're going to get the zombifier for the war dogs?
Zombifier for the war dog.
We'd have to have Well, doesn't the original I'm going back to like cartooniness or whatever, but doesn't the attacking unit have to be a zombie in order to turn another thing into a zombie? Like in the cartoon?
Well,
No,
No.
you can put your Gina and your
Yeah.
there.
Pandora, Dina, Jericho.
Yeah, I said in like the like video game world and literally everything else but War Commander.
Well, anyway, that
Well,
be,
If you look at Resident Evil, they bite you and then they're already a zombie. They have to, and then they bite you and then you turn into a zombie.
I suppose a dog turns into a werewolf. Halloween, it's a perfect thing for it.
Exactly.
we may get the a zombifier for the war dog to turn him into a big red ungodly thing.
Or, what is it you call it? Your special forces. Remember, we got 6 of them. Was that a zombifier that turned into something? What was it?
Yeah. Well, it turned the unit into a big zombie itself once he died,
What was
then
it?
it gave him 800,000 health.
Yeah. What was? Yeah, I remember that.
Toxic Avenger.
There we go.
Yes,
Toxic
yeah.
offender.
Toxic Offender. There you go. Devo must be in the game.
Trying.
Bad memory for me.
Yeah, I remember I hit a lot of SF plats when that came around, and the whole plat had that, and I was just like, ugh. But then I realized when you kill the infantry unit, you don't actually have to kill the toxic offender dude in order to get the victory. Like with detonators, if you kill a detonator, the mites will come out, but you don't have to kill the mites in order to get the victory. Because it'll still stay in the attack, but even if you didn't kill the mites, but you don't have to kill the mites in order to end.
Dog out in the preview server was interesting. Yes,
The
you
what?
get a few of them in this. Testing the war dog out in the event in the preview server was kind of interesting. Yeah, it did. I sent in a 2 to 10 of them into a what was it? 80. Yeah, into an 80 Thor. They took a beating. They found all the mines, but they died. 24-minute repair time though. From the nice picture Daba posted, for one. I don't like the repair time. That's way too high for that unit.
No one does.
And by the way,
Can somebody screen share it? Like kill off a dog and screen share it live? This way they see it.
is it still 120 space?
Whatever. Yeah, I think the space hasn't really been changed. I don't.
Yeah, the space is too high too. But then again, we can all do what Debo does: is just scrap them and rebuild them.
It's only 6 million.
Quit giving away my secrets.
You gave it away on a show. Shut up.
They're patented by Debo, so only Debo can speak of these things.
Oh, okay.
He's got some patent over in Kick-Size. He's over in Kick-Size, like Library of Congress type deal, you know? Or like the equivalent of like Library of Congress, but whatever Kick-Size version of it would be.
Did anybody change their base for this event, or just leave it the way it was?
I haven't changed my base in like 8 months. I don't care. And it still holds up.
All these people are switching over to anti-joke bases and all that, and they were just spreading them out. And they were making fun of me because my base was like compact. And now that Harold can now hit air, I'm laughing at all them because I'm like, well, now it's probably good to go back to the compact base and just fill it with Hades.
I have an old-fashioned octagon base. Works pretty good.
Yeah.
Has anybody even tried the Herald with the tech on it?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
works
I love
good.
it.
I love it. Mine's maxed. I maxed it out the minute I got it. Had the Thor all in reserve. Had all the res in reserve. Maxed it.
I put it at level 1 because right now, just for the event, I need it to hit air. I don't really care about the damage boost it gives because my Herald will kill anything I touch it with anyways. So it's like, dropping a 1-ton bomb on my house or a 2-ton bomb on my house. Like, it's going to either way, it's going to kill it.
Yeah, that's got me thinking too. I've been thinking about changing my platforms to the armored instead of floaters.
Yeah. Well, let's bases that has all those armored. Holy crap! They take a beating from the PKs, but not from the Herald or anything. But
if it gains you 2 or 3 seconds per platform, that's enough to knock down a Herald sometimes.
not really. Not in the event bases. It's not.
No, not in the event basis. Somebody was attacking you. You know, I mean, if you 6 Heralds, you know, and they're wasting an extra 3 seconds, that's an extra 1.5 million damage that you're causing to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people saying they're gonna drop all their guns and put the armored, and then that's 36 days of upgrading, or whatever turnover time. That's the only reason I haven't done it yet.
It's a day and a half or something.
2 days.
Damn.
Yeah. Well,
Or you can coin it, but
you got the last 2 days on your turrets. For your
2 days, mine are.
Day and a half for next level, and then it's 2 days per. On the last.
I want to answer a question by Grumpy Pirate real quick. So for your tech, the regular Herald, you can get 1 tech. The Elite Herald, you get 2 tech. Omega Herald, you get 3 tech. We don't have 3 tech yet. We've only got 2 for the Omega Herald, but next event when we get our 3rd tech, we should get a 3rd tech for our Herald, and then that'll be the 3rd one. You'll need to have an Omega to have all 3 tech. It's the same as the Juggernaut. The Phantom's different because it just already had a bunch of tech on it. But pretty much all your other Omega units that are newer Omega units, that's how they work.
Speaking of those bases, I've been getting one part per base.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, tell me about it.
I did one, the Herald only. Saw a video of somebody doing it the lazy way, and I'm like going, all right, you can do 2 bases, maybe 3 with the Herald. First base I did, I got 1 part. And then the second base, I got 4. So
You got Thor from a Herald base?
4.
Oh, 4.
nice.
4. I got mine yesterday, so I needed 2 bases, so I got 2 bases yesterday, so that's all 80.
Yeah,
I need 29 parts.
I need like 70. I haven't even bothered with them, to be quite honest.
I spent all last month upgrading my phalanx because 2 people told me that they could. Oh, 1 tuna phalanx could take 5 bases, and I tried it.
It did.
Proof for Pixar didn't happen, man. And I could have been upgrading other units, but then I found out 1 tuna phalanx only takes like 1 base for me. So, yeah.
I think that falls under operator error.
Yeah, I was lied to, and mine were higher level.
I'm still going with operator error.
Yeah.
If you used them appropriately, it would have worked out fine.
Need a video, man.
Exactly. I need a video showing that they can take 5.
I actually think I have a video because that's how I think I sent my video to Lonnie.
Oh, you didn't send it to me. I see how it is.
Dude, you drive around circles in a fucking base. It's not that hard. You need a video to show you how to drive circles?
Shoot with War Pig.
I drive squares and rectangles. I don't drive circles. I noticed my phalanx seemed to slow down a lot when as they would take damage, they seemed to slow down as if they were affected by cryo. Because I had the snow tires on, so they were immune to cryo, but as it would take damage, it would slow down like really, really bad as they would take damage, and that kind of messed me up as well. Now, to be honest, I put the range tech on all of them instead of the busted status shots. So maybe if I had the busted status, they'll last longer. But as of now, yeah, I wasn't able to. That kind of put me back because I was hoping that I'd get 25 parts per drop at a minimum, and then I'd be done, like by today. Now I'm sitting at, let me see. I'm sitting at 48 parts, so I need 32 more.
And this bar ain't moving. This bar is stale.
That too, yeah.
Well, that's because everybody got the trophy and the Herald Tech, and now they're done. Because there's no reason to keep going.
Okay, everybody spent 500,000 XP points to get the bar to move.
That's the only reason why I'm still playing the event. Get the bar up.
I am personally only still playing because I want to get my level 20 disruptors, because there isn't a unit that's any better than those.
Very good. I have a long way to go. I haven't built one yet.
All right, any questions out in YouTube, guys?
Animal says, I didn't know them seekers that also shoot ground can't be shocked. So yeah, they can't be.
Nope.
Yeah. They're, that's surprising because they're considered a heavy tank, but they can't be shocked.
Interesting. Yeah, screw them.
And the ones in the there was a couple of seekers that they didn't target my herald. They I guess they hit ground, but they didn't hit my herald.
I will say the one I went into, the seekers killed my liberators and then turned around and started shooting at my herald, and I just about fucking lost it when I put in my ticket.
Well, the ones that have ground on it, the ground whatever tech, that means it should not shoot at the herald.
That's correct. Those are our rules. Those aren't kickside rules. Those are our rules.
That is kickside rules too, but as
I think that's the 90.
know, kickside does tend to not fix the shit that benefits them. In this case, it benefits them.
And see, that would be another reason, like Devo said earlier in the show, to put tokens at the end of each, or in the gear store, not the gear store, the event store, because then all of us that ain't got nothing to do, we could grind the event for the tokens and buy them in the store. Because 2 per unit, that's, let's see, so 54 divided by 2, that's 27, so you got to do it 28 times full completions in order to get all your things. Now, obviously, you ain't going to do that in one event, but let's say you had the Nightmare event, the Nightmare into Chaos, then into Chaos, and this event now that we've had 3 chances with tokens. And that would have been 8 times each, 3, that'd be 24, so 9, 10, about 10 times each thing if you wanted to get your things, if you wanted to get your, 10 times each, like completions. Like 10 completions each event, and that's crazy to have your things maxed. Because then that'd be 50, 50 over 55 at that point. And you would have had to just done the Liberator track in the Nightmare into Chaos and into Chaos.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody did that. Did just that. That was it.
All right.
You forgot all the tokens. There's
Pascal's probably done with it.
event.
I totally am up for that.
I got a question for the panel.
Make it
Who here does, if there was no how do I put this? If there was no prize at the end of stuff like Onslaught, the event, yada yada yada, Shadow Ops, would you do them for the fun of it? As
No.
after all, this is a game of looking at it.
Sorry, Dava.
There's a reason I'm asking this, but would any of you guys on the panel do any of these events or whatever if there was no prize at the end?
Hell no.
Like, for instance, would you guys PvP if there was no infamy or medals to be gained from it? Would you guys PvE, Shadow Ops, and all that if there was nothing to be gained from it?
Yeah, I was PvPing before there was PvP, so yeah.
Gotta go, guys.
At the beginning of the game,
Okay.
each other if we didn't waste all this time getting shit.
And the reason I was asking is there's a thing Wrong Thinker said that he was trying to make stuff like Invasion to where we actually want to play it and where it's not a grind. And because a lot of us, we said all the PvE stuff that they're throwing out is a grind. And so I think that's why they're what do we call it? they're taking out like good stuff for the event and all that because they want us to actually have fun with the event and not grind and all that. But ultimately, everything in this game is a grind because that wouldn't me. Everything's a grind because if you want to be the biggest and the top dog and all that,
Hunter.
you gotta grind for what you want.
Hunter.
Shadow ups, you gotta grind tech. Onslaught, you gotta grind the waves to try to get the best time. Or not onslaught, invasion. And now we got 2 invasions this month, so yay! That's 2 weekends. I gotta be antisocial with my friends.
Sorry, Hunter. You're a noob. I had to do it.
Do you get the order of the books? Yes.
All right, Champ has something that he wants to share. So I want to hand it over to him. Oh, Champ. Yo,
So I just got 500k XP.
can you turn your chat off? Just where,
Yeah, just a sec.
And another question: why is your tech center not going? Why is your worker not going? And why is your hangar not going? No, not your hangar. The defense lab.
Let's see. I'll show you guys. Actually, I've been slacking. I just finished this guy there though. But I just want to share 500 XP. Sector bar.
Well, look at the percentage on the. No, don't go in yet. Look at the percentage.
25%.
All right, 25%. Okay.
All right.
I'm in 49 as well, so I'll monitor it.
And how much is this supposed to boost it?
There is no clear number. I've heard numbers from everywhere. I've heard from 2% all the way to 20% that people have told me. That one just went from 25 to 32. I just seen it jump. So that's 5, 6, 7. 7% it just boosted it.
I think it should be 10.
Yeah, because we get 10 people to do it in the sector.
It's 32% there at the minute.
Champ, did you want to share it being at 32 now?
Yeah, one sec.
I've got it at 32 here, and I'm on the game here, so it's exactly 32 here now.
Okay. See, there you go. You got 32%. So that's 7%. It boosted us.
I expect a thank you on the pages.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. For good of War Commander. And on behalf of Unshackled, we thank you for sacrificing your valuable XP that we know you wanted to buy other stuff on, but you care about the community and stuff.
Yes,
and
sir.
For research purposes, you were willing to sacrifice this 500,000 for us.
And
So
I'm not in that sector, so I don't really care. Well, I got my Herald day 1, so.
I call Hex. Iron Hand. Survivors are your bone saws, disruptors, detonators, liberators, and one more unit that's not coming to mind.
Hammers.
What was it?
And
Hammer.
Hammers. There we go.
War rig.
Oh yeah, the war rig too.
That's
Oh yeah, let me tell you guys on War Commander Unshackled the story of my war rig. So I was like, all right, well, it's a survivor unit. Let me put it in the weakest survivor base. So I put it. It was the 15. So I was like, all right, whatever. I used it as a battering ram. I ran over stuff, and it came up to my I went up to acolytes, and I just went boom, 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 dead. There was a 16-hour repair.
Ouch.
And I was like, alrighty then, and it took out maybe 1% of the base. And I was like, alrighty then, well, it sucks. I figured. I mean, granted, it's level 2, but I figured in the weakest survivor base it would be good. You know?
Nope. Nope. Quit dreaming. even
it's the acolytes that killed it.
it's not performing as intended. In hopes that when the tech comes out for it, it will boost it some. I'm pretty sure the tech is going to boost it a lot. It's not as intended.
Was it intended to suck day one? Because that's
Yeah.
pretty much what.
Yeah, it's not it wasn't intended to be like it is right now. To be quite honest, they even said it.
It's a shame that whenever a unit comes out, that we have to upgrade it to 30 and then wait another month after that to make it good. Should it not be good whenever it first comes out?
Should be. Actually, at level, when I got it, and by the time it was built, I think it was level 3 or 4, I tried it in a 60 base, right? Yeah, it didn't last that long. The key to
Iron Strike 60?
Iron Strike 60, the key to that unit is basically not to let it stop, period. Don't target any buildings, don't target any units, don't target any walls. Just drive it around in a freaking circle. Let it run over everything, because the minute it stops, it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 seconds to start moving again. And that's when you get all the damage.
Hey David, just because you use the magic word to drive it around in a circle, Dava's going to need a video on how to do that.
Right?
Yes, please. See that war rig, it's not circular because it's turn speed. It turns like a 15-wheeler, 16-wheeler truck. So it'd be better to turn that thing in like a rounded rectangle than a circle.
Not when that thing starts to get moving. It actually moves pretty good and turns pretty quickly. However, I decided after the 15 hours of repair, I'll try it in a 70. It took out a corner and then died instantly. And that was without targeting anything. So as the unit is intended at level 4, no, it's not a very good unit. So,
Somebody had a really good idea for using it. It is so you scrap it and then build it again, and you got 9 days of thorium that you can hold behind it.
Yeah. I suppose you could cut off your leg and learn how to hop. I suppose that's another way to do it. That's another way to do it.
But I mean, yeah, I'm gonna keep upgrading it just because I got nothing better to do in my tech center. But I got no high hopes for it.
We'll see.
Well, you got plenty of better stuff to do. You can do your jug. You can do your Hydra.
10 days apiece? Nah, that's not gonna happen. Here's some perspective for you guys. If you unlocked the Juggernaut right now, level 1, you'd probably be looking at, if you just upgraded the jug and nothing else, no coins or nothing like that, and no speeding up the 5-minute repair, you're looking at, to go to level 40, you're looking at probably end of January before it's actually maxed. From now until January. That's what are we in? July, August, September, October, November, December. That's 6 months just for one unit. And by then, I'm expecting the Juggernaut to be out of kind of like the Hellstorms, like to come and gone. Something with like 600 range or something like that. What was that?
That'll suck. I don't look forward to that day.
I remember last year I made a video of all my units and like what was popular then, like was it December? So this December I want to do the same thing just to kind of see how the game's changed. Because back then I think we had forget what the unit was that we had, but I don't think the Jug was out then. No, yeah, the Jug was out, but the Herald wasn't, because the Herald came out in January.
Yeah.
But the Jug was still a new creation at the time. Kixeye will reduce the XP for the War Trophy. And if you already purchased it, they will credit you supposedly 600K at the end of the event during the use it or lose it. Let me see. Did I hear disruptors are good? That's Debo's department there.
Oh no, they suck. I was just making a joke earlier. I apologize.
I'm still
But I
waiting to
will,
see.
but I will say, all right, you know, the big trick on those, to be honest with you, mine are level 10. If you're gonna use them, the only thing you could really use them for is to shock hollers or the sidewinders in the event basis. Obviously, because those units are susceptible to shock. That's pretty much the only use I have found for them so far. I would love to find another use for them, but just because of the fact that I wasted my time to upgrade them. But who knows what the future may hold.
Along with your
Yep,
secret.
put the stun tech on them, because then this way they'll stun, because all units to my knowledge can get stunned to where they'll move, but they just can't hit you.
Correct. And other than that, I can't think of another reason to use them yet. But eventually, hopefully,
Now,
one day.
are they a guaranteed hit, or can you dodge the shot?
As far as I've seen so far, it's pretty much a guaranteed hit.
All
Because
right.
if it's a guaranteed hit, then you can run them with your PvP tune, and if you're strategic, anything that people throw at you, you can block up. If you're strategic.
I wouldn't be willing to waste the space in a platoon to put those into a PvP platoon.
Well, you'd make another, a few disruptors, howlers, phalanx, and set that on its own, and then see if the disruptors had more speed, they could keep up with the phalanx and howlers, and you could kind of use the disruptors. Like, imagine if the disruptors fired like the phalanx, like a 360 shot, like a 360 pulse, kind of like the what's that pulsing unit that the Crusader? If it fired a shot like that, but I mean the charge time was a lot less. Like, it still fired its blob, but it did a 360 wave, like the Crusader does, and just shock everything. That would make it so much more useful. Because an EMP blast, like that thing supposedly does be 360 and up too. It wouldn't just be like 360 on the ground, and it wouldn't be linear either, like that unit shoots. And so, yeah, that would be a cool upgrade on it. But even as it is now, just move them in the front and just kind of shock everything, but make sure the bunkers are down. But
Yeah,
that's
what's the next Omega unit gonna be? I'm wondering.
Omega. What's it?
Mega War Rig.
Yeah, because Kicksize released the Juggernaut, they went Omega Juggernaut. They released the Herald, went Omega Herald. So now they released the
War Rig.
War Rig, and now most likely we'll be getting Omega War Rig bases in 2 months in theory.
I kind of met from the older units. I was wondering if they're going to bring back Spectra. I'm just looking at my tech center. Omega Spectra. That would be kind of.
I got a name for that one. I don't call it the Spectre. I call it the Sphincter.
Or now you could do like they used to call it in all the pages, the Spectre.
Yeah, well, let's see here. You got the Sphincter, you got the Flying Dildo, you got the War Pig.
I would like to see the Legion make a comeback with the Omega.
That ain't gonna happen. What's it gonna release? 32 clones?
Well, it does that anyways, but maybe it'd be legal to do it now.
It's kind of sad, and I'm gonna say this. Some of the cheats that I've seen, Kixeye has taken advantage of and made it into a unit, or made it into a tactic, or a
Style of play.
workshop. So, you think about it. Some of the things that have been out there, they have turned into a workshop item. But
Such as
The war paints and things like that there, that's made for elite players, not the top 100 and all that there. Everybody wants to be in the top 3 or the tops. Like that one, the first Infamy season, the top 3, like the whole world and their family knew that there was going to be 300,000 people from a certain part of the world have that in 24 hours. It's just
that's why I think personally they came out with the Legion Lucky Paint, because they got tired of us ragging on all the players that had the Diamond Legions, and everyone, like, none of us legit players, only 100 legit players would have the 97 would have the black one to get the boost.
I don't know.
They gave us the lucky one just to give all of us a chance at the boost.
I don't know.
We still got fuckers too. That's funny.
I've seen a few diamond. I haven't seen them in like ages, and then
Saw him last
I
week.
just seen them. That's what I'm saying.
Sure,
I haven't seen them in ages, and then I just seen them a few last week and a few days before then, and I was just like, yeah, they're making a comeback.
I got 3 attack me, one after the other. Well, I never saw the battle till the end. You know what I mean? But
I mean, normally there's a few sectors that I can go to if I want to see like Diamond Legions and all that, and I was visiting those sectors, and I still didn't see them. So that's all surprised they made a comeback about a week or two ago, or as far as my seeing them, anyways.
you know the way if you get in the top 100 or the top 50 or whatever it is. Could Kickside not actually issue that prize themselves the way it doesn't appear in your workshop?
What do you mean that it doesn't appear in your workshop?
You know the way you can get Omega paint and gold paint, and I have silver paint for my art. I didn't get the top 100, but I can change that in my workshop. But should that not just be granted to you the way people know that this person, and then there's no arguments?
I suppose, but then like for instance, the silver and bronze, if you get so like if they just automatically made your Arduous silver without the workshop, then somebody would be like, oh, I want the bronze one on it, or
Yeah.
I like the original Ardra, I don't like the silver color.
Well, if you sort of signed up to some sort of disclaimer thing there, because if somebody hits you with a gold Omega Titan, you don't know if they finish in the top 100 or the top million.
Oh, yeah. But then they'd have to basically attach your number in the like your ranking in the event on your units. It would have like a flag or something like that saying, oh, this is number whatever. Kind of like the PvP or the invasion trophy, the guy that's spinning around, where it has like first, second, and third on it.
Yeah, but that don't matter anyways because there's bases out there that have all 3 of the fucking trophies in their base.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If Kickside gave you the stuff rather than you earning it, you know what I mean? If they actually physically give it to you, there's no slot in the workshop for it. You see.
So you're saying just give it without like competition?
If you go into your workshop, say you didn't finish in the top 100 in Invasion, you still have that slot that can be coded or hacked into to make your stuff go gold. If you didn't have that option, it would be harder to do, I think.
Yeah. So like, yeah. Like for instance, I have the diamond and the black Legion, like that appear in my workshop, but it just says info on them. It doesn't say unlocked. So yeah, just like yank them from me because I didn't earn it.
Just don't have that option there. Then if you do, it's up to trace you and give you the prize.
I got a question about the bounce scout. So you scout a base and you catch a level 6 bunker with 1,000 capacity. Is it the scout that's glitching, or is
As far as I know, the bunker capacity is like a lot of the stuff is not working right, like storage and hangar space and even your res space. But as far as I know, the bunker space and all the tests that I've done, the bunker space is good because like I've seen somebody with like 1,000 in their bunker, and then I went and hit it with an owl or hit it with like a bone saw, and a crap ton of libs popped out, like way more than 9 libs.
Yeah.
And I've done that probably 50, 60 times. Check it. I never like to rely on the event scout for anything unless I actually check it. And that one I haven't been able to disprove a number of them that way, like that I found on a bunker. As far as like being overcap. Here's a question from Hunter. I'm not sure why he's using ground to hit these, but whatever. He says the Seeker with ground hitting tech, what's the best unit to hit them with? Like, can you use Jerry moving and it won't hit it?
I've used hammers and libs on that. Takes them out instantly.
Well, see, it's not supposed to hit your air, so you can use air if there's nothing around it.
That's
Um,
because
yeah,
as
it's not. Well, the 91, I think it was 90. That one worked properly for me. Because at first I was like, why aren't these seekers hitting my thing? And then my herald, and then I saw that other people were saying that they had the anti-ground missiles on them, and I was like, all right, well that makes sense. Because now they're no longer a dedicated anti-air. And they're working as intended. And they don't have 700 range, I know that.
it's like 450, 500 until it gets the lock. If it gets a lock on your unit, the range is extended to 700.
As long as you don't move the unit.
Mm-hmm. The unit out of fucking range and the lock goes away.
According, it's got 500. It's got 500 according to the wiki.
Right, it's a 500 range until
Yeah.
the lock on your unit, then it extends.
And then it goes out to like probably 1,000. Because I know I got hit. I got targeted by one in a player base, and then I ran it. He was in like the center by his CC, and I almost went to the edge of the base while it was still locked on me. And I was doing it for science. So I hurt my unit for science.
Right. Sure.
Because like Monday, Tuesday, well, Mondays and Tuesdays generally, and even Wednesdays, I got nothing to do in War Commander, so I can kill off my units, and so I can test things like that. Like like the other day, I was testing. Yesterday, I was testing what's faster, a war dog, an attack dog, or a buggy. So since let me check the panel. Yeah, we're all long-time players. What do you guys think won? The buggy, the war dog, or the attack dog? I went from 0-0 to 500-500.
Waggy.
Yeah, the buggy beat it.
So we actually had a tie for first place. It was the war dog and the buggy, and then second place was the attack dog, like the regular attack dog. So the new attack dog, the war dog, is the same speed, at least from going that way, like just going diagonally across the map. It's the same speed as the buggy. Now I'll have to do some research on PvPing and see if it works like a buggy. Like,
Is the Scorpion not unit?
I've been told the Scorpion and the Honey Badger. I've heard someone told me the Honey Badger is faster than the buggy, and I've been told the Scorpion can keep up with the buggy. So I'll have to test those sometime.
Scorpion's faster, for sure.
And I've also heard the Viper X as well, and so I'll have to test those and report back. I might even make a video.
Make a video of them going in circles, Daba.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to put this out there. If you're going in circles in the Herald base, you're gonna lose your stuff because that means you're getting really close to the acolytes, and the acolytes destroy your phalanx and the vindicators as well. So you have to kind of do like a rectangular circle around the base, go around the edges, and just kind of spiral your way in, not circle your way in. We got a question from Champ. Best unit in the game thus far?
I say Jericho.
Jericho, 100% the best overall. It's
Best
probably
overall.
better in defense than it is in attack now.
Next best, I would say Titan. Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I see this game as a game of rock, paper, scissors. So it depends on what I'm hitting.
Overall unit for PvP, defense, and just PvE, it's Jericho, man, hands down.
Well, PvP defense, I'd rather have a Hades in my base because for the Herald.
Yeah, but Jericho buffs the Herald, the Hades.
He does, but I don't have his I don't have his boost tech.
Oh, do you not have his tech?
Hell yeah, I should say implement Jericho with tech.
I'm going to have to go with the Vanguard. There's really nothing out there that can beat the Vanguard.
Better than the Disruptor.
Yeah, the Vanguard was such a I had so much hope for him when I killed all those Sickle Syndicate bases, and then I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah. I honestly feel sorry for the lowers that have to go through all that because the Sickle Syndicate 40s are like non-existent.
Yep, they pulled all them.
They still
They
have
should see, like, part of the way back when they were saying about basically the map was using too much RAM. Make all the depots disappear. Make the animations go away.
I remember hitting those Sickle Syndicates with Hellstorms back in the day.
Hellstorm.
Yeah, and how many hours of repair did you have when you screwed up?
Oh,
A whole bunch. Yeah.
yeah.
What was it, 12 hours, I think?
I started in the left-hand corner there. Make sure you were in the left-hand corner and hit the right edge of the wall. And then we anti-flak tanks. They were the boys that would get you. They were deadly.
Yeah.
The Valiants are the new Hellstorms anyway, so.
I remember I used to hate it was a roaming flak tank, and I hated it because as soon as you shot or got close on the left side, he would charge at you. So then you had to sit there and bait him all the way out to the corner, so it's where your ground could hit it, and then you could continue the base. And then I remember I had to pick the ones that had just the riflemen and not the stingers, because the stingers would hit you. And then I found out about the stinger, the stinger armor on the Hellstorms, and so then I was a little bit more daring.
Hellstorms were the shit for a couple weeks.
They were good units. You do your Thor as well, so they would, if you do it right.
Yeah, I remember taking giant thoriums with just them.
Is there anybody there, Andrew, who wants to do a few bases?
That's what I'm wondering. I would do them, but my screen sharing still messed up.
If anybody wants a
Yeah,
base,
we had people asking if we could do a 30, 85, and a 80, like without like Omega units and whatnot for like I'd say at least a medium player, because
I guess that rules me out.
I mean, like using libs and vindicators and like faction units, not like leaders of these units and stuff.
Oh shit!
Like,
You
for
guys are
instance,
using, you guys are using units. I've used peacekeepers for this entire event.
80, I used just a tune of libs, and I worked it up the top. Like I just moved the libs all the way up the top, then around the left side, and then down the left side, and then down the bottom, and then up the right side. Could someone screen share an 80? Like this way people out on YouTube can actually see what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to find one.
See, Ardry, javelins are still good if you like all these people that have anti-jug and all that bases. Javelins can still be used in those bases if they don't have a bunker covering them, because Jab's got 620 range on them. So as long as I think an avalanche has only got 600 range on them, so you'd outrange an avalanche, and you'd outrange like a hunter or a flak that's out sitting in the corner. Let me see.
Where's an 80? Damn it!
Champ, you're in 49, right?
Yeah.
Why am I on the left side of the map? Where are you in the world? Like, there's an 80 right there. I just posted in global.
All right, that's pretty close.
If you have an advanced scouts, you could advanced scout it.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, you are really close.
I can scout it. Save your.
All right. Sure.
Oh, you're sure you're going to scout it? Yeah, that's grand.
Let me go. War Commander Avalanche. I want to share incorrect info. Avalanches, according to Wiki, have 600 range. I just double checked it on the Wiki because there was somebody on YouTube saying they think they have 700. A lot of your heavy turrets, I think your railguns and all that got 7, but
What is Avalanche with the base boost?
Avalanche.
what's the avalanche with what?
You know, with your boost, the base boost. You don't get a base boost extra range with that, or is that just your bunkers?
It's just damage that they do, and actually it's your it's units inside your base that get a defensive and an attacking boost. I don't think that applies to your bunkers or your guns. I'd have to check that out. So
All the Tempests are 1.
hey Champ, can you at the bottom left where it says stop, can stop sharing, right next to that, can you hit hide?
Oops.
No, like screen share, but then hit hide on that thing, so this way the little annoying thing goes away.
All right.
You just drop a load of purifiers with that base. I suppose you could, but acolytes damage purifiers. So go to the center where you deploy.
Right here.
All right, so yeah, you deploy pretty much on top of that down chopper. The down does sandstorm. So off to the right a little bit, like right there, like yeah, right where he's got his mouse. So what I did was I had a full tune of libs, so 60 of them, or however many fit in a tune. And then I just hit X to spread them out. I made them stand there for a while because a bunch of acolytes will charge at you. Once the acolytes are done, I took them up to the right by that warhorse, and then I ran around the left, and I hit the 2 hunters at the top left there, and then I continued around the top. Now, for some reason, I keep like.
John, you scroll way up to the top there. Way up to the top, as far as you can go, above that Tempest. Do you see that building there, that War Academy, wherever it is, that produces acolytes?
Yep.
No, to the left.
This one.
Way over to the left. That's right.
Hit H on your thing, on your keyboard, so this way it shows. Like
No,
hide all that. There you go.
Oh, wait,
yeah, all those academies produce acolytes, and it gets annoying.
Yeah, that academy up there, way at the top. See it there? Just on the right-hand side of your screen there. A Deadeye will land on that one and kill that one. So that stops your acolytes coming out of there. A Deadeye will land there. Yeah, that one there where your mouse is on there. A Deadeye will land there. So that will help you with acolytes coming out.
That's good to know.
You probably get one on the other one too.
Yeah, I think. No, it won't land in the one at near where you spawn at. You know, at whatever it is, 6 o'clock, whatever it is.
But that's one thing that was annoying in this event. Even as I had to carry libs everywhere. My personal preference, I use libs because they outrange the acolytes, but the acolytes kept spawning, and they, like, if I would to bring my Juggernaut or Ardro or even Purifiers, I had to have libs and basically babysit the spawner, so this way my real tune could actually fight.
I know it's a bit annoying, but if you get three bullseyes or 3 Mavericks and 1 Deadeye, that base is gone just with 3 Phalanx. That's how I do it. Just kill all the producers, except that one there.
Which one?
That one there. You're not there yet. I can't keep that one. I'll leave that one alone, and I run my Phalanx straight ahead and kill it.
All right.
And that's it. Game over. Then I go and get the libs, put them in aggressive, and then just kill everything.
We got a question from YouTube. Do libs do okay with the Valiant? I wasn't expecting them to, but the Valiants in this base, as soon as they start moving, you have to move your whole squad of libs basically to them, and then just target. And since I had, I want to say I had 50 in a tune or 60. Where they 60 space, I had 50 in a tune. So yeah, and then they just destroyed the Valiants because they're not. I don't think they're real high level, so it wasn't too bad.
I think the Valiants are unique. We need to upgrade as well because they're really, really strong in this event.
And the Valiants.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The Valiants, they take, I mean, this isn't relevant for this event, but the Valiants did take a lot of damage. My level 1 Valiant took a, what is that, the big billy goat? It took damage from a billy goat for about 15, 20 seconds, and it was a level 1 Valiant. So a level 10, 15, or a level, yeah, I guess they go to 15 or 20. Like the higher level Valiants would take a lot more from a billy goat. Or I guess it would be sustained not sustained, but like, I don't know what the billy goat would be. But it'd be area damage. Because the nightmare is the area damage.
Well, I notice if you have to go toe to toe with a Valiant, your best option is going to be use your Titan, use the drones to distract it, and then bring in some hailstorms. Hailstorms will eat them up in seconds.
Yep. Basically anything that'll hit air. They're a little resistant to Furies because I know the Furies they do kill them, but it takes a little bit.
If I'm not mistaken, hailstorms have that extra damage towards air. So.
Yep, they have.
So.
Somebody told me that bone saws were the new hailstorms, and to scrap all my hailstorms. And once again, I think I was lied to. Because my bone saws, I'm liking them because they do like splash damage on nice stand defenders and all that, and they do fire and ice damage as well. But yeah, there's definitely no sacrifice for, or there's definitely no replacement for hailstorms. Because stat-wise, just looking at their base stats, the bone saws got higher DPS, but it doesn't count in your tech that you have on your hailstorms. The gold tech, the silver, red tech. We got the 85. The 85. Anyone see an 85 or a 30 on the map? Go over those real quick. I don't even know what the heck a 30 is. There's some 35s.
85, but it's a long way away, Andrew. I'd say there's one there.
Postcard. All right. Oh, yeah, that's kind of.
If they could just post it and then event scout it. This way, I'm probably. Yeah, I'm 2 minutes 14 out. But
if you give me a sec, I'll launch this last Peacekeeper on 19. I'll go and advance double.
Okay.
You okay with that? I have 3 scouts if you want.
You deploy air. Yeah, Andrew, don't deploy air on that 80. Oh, yeah, here's something funny I found with that 80 base. So you just going with the storyline. So you crash landed in the middle of that, and you need to kill all the hunters in order to make a air escape possible. Well, it's awfully funny how you have to kill the hunters, but you can leave the seekers up, and you're fine. So you kill the hunters. I'm sorry, if the hunters are alive, you can't fly air in there. But if the hunters are dead, then you can fly air. Now, again, don't use your own air. That's for the story. So, like the prison many events ago, you couldn't use your own air, but basically like off the record or off the event or whatever, if you outside of the story, you were getting an air rescue out of that base. So that's the same thing with this one. Like outside of the story, that's how they're explaining that you get out. Once you kill the hunters, then they bring in an air chopper or something to get you. So this one, if you go down to the bottom right to where you deploy.
All right.
Yeah, so actually go over to the bottom left. And you have a bunch of acolytes. You have Vindicators down there. They're only level 1, but they reached out to my libs and hit them.
They do damage.
The acolytes are level 10.
The acolytes, yeah, they're level 10. But that building on the left there will spawn acolytes, and I think there's a couple more on the left side as well. But with this one, this is a base where I did like I did earlier. I used purifiers and vindicators.
Because I use my juggernaut.
I used libs for to cover my purifier and vindicator. So I had a crap ton of libs, and that covered all the little guys that were spawning. And then I just kind of used purifiers and vindicators to go up to the wall, hit it with my vindicator, I use the purifier to bait those bottom vindicators. So this way they would hit my purifier and not my vindicators. And then for the railgun on the left, that floating one, I just sent my libs straight at it. And then I killed all that crap on the left and all those little, all those acolytes. And then I just kind of worked my way up with my vindicators. For the bunker, I put my purifier to kind of block it. And then vindicator, the microwave right in front of that bunker. And then if you pull the screen down a little bit more, like pull it down so I can see the top of the base.
Up here?
You go. Yep, there you go. So then you got the go to the middle railgun. There you go. So then you hit the blitz with the vindicator, like right below the railgun. And that should knock that out. You can put a couple libs in front if your vindicators ain't maxed, or if you ain't got the range tech on them. Put a couple libs this way. The vindicator will, or the libs will take the shot from the railgun. And then you could just kind of, at this point, once you got that second railgun down on the left, you got the defense lab, and you got that railgun there. You can throw libs there. And then really, you could just use libs for the rest of it. And I think I got maybe an hour on my libs and 30 minutes on my vindicator, and like 10 minutes on my purifier.
That's maxed.
But I seen a lot of people complaining about this base because you can't use air. Because yeah, an elite titan, or an omega titan rather, on Ruby would do this base, but Kickstarter's making us use our different units. So this way we're not just omega heralding and juggernauting everything. Now, of course, for the higher level players that's got the juggernaut, you could pretty much juggernaut this whole base with Ardra in the front.
But that base there, you have to, if you're using your purifiers or Ardra, that they have to be deployed first, because the acolytes will run to them. If you deploy your liberators, the acolytes will hit with your liberators first. That glitch, with, same, with the heralds only targets, in the defense wave, the herald only targets your purifier or your Ardra. It's the same with the acolytes in that base.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I put in my liberators first, and they all come out and chased me. But I put in my Ardra the next time, and they went after my Ardra first.
Yep. If you put since your libs will outrange the acolytes, deploy your Ardra or whatever first, and then pull your libs, and then pull your Ardra behind. Like, because you could actually put Ardra at the very bottom right of that base, put the libs in the middle of her, and then all this stuff will go chasing Ardra, and then they'll have to run through your libs, which your libs will kill them.
Yeah.
And then that'll babysit all the spawning stuff while you use your units for the rest of the base.
The it's electrical helps too.
Yep, that does too, because it'll shock all your. If you're using Vindicator or Juggernaut, it'll splash stuff. I mean, the Juggernaut just destroys everything, but if you're using Vindicators, it'll splash stuff that's around, because the Juggernauts or the Vindicators got a little bit of a splash range. Yeah, you could use someone on YouTube saying you can use Phalanx. Someone hit it with Weaver and Vindicator after the center stop and repair Weaver. Yep. You could use Jericho and Growler drones if you got about 30 minutes or so, because the power plants, I was having a brain fart there. The power plants are way at the back, so the Growler drones aren't going to make it through all that crap. So that means that you can use your Jericho with it. Heck, going really old school, you can Sarkis spam this. Bring your Sarkis in, hit like a bunker or something like that. Micro heal him.
Mine's scrapped.
Yeah, I think mine is as well. All right. The final one. Can you turn your chat on? I'll post a 30, and then we'll advance about that one. I honestly don't know what it is. There you go. All right, so there's the 30. Okay, so this is the old Shadow Ops base. We had it in the event and the Shadow Ops as well.
That was the old 70.
Use bone saw to take this out, and then just use libs and hammers.
Yep. Actually, you see that wee island in the middle there? If you put a bone saw there.
Better. PKs.
Yeah, or PKs.
The bunkers will destroy the PKs, so you have to land them short and kind of walk them in.
Well,
But
if
yeah,
you
it will
land
work.
off in the left corner or the right corner, you just work your way up a little bit. It takes them right out. Everything.
I killed the Vindicator with my Roland when he came to the right, and then I just kind of walked my Roland up the right side, and then up the middle, and then the left side where the Hunter is. And I had libs behind it just to kind of be damage. Because the Roland, he has a lot of splash, and so I would target turrets strategically, so this way they would cause like splash behind him, because he'll one-shot a lot of those turrets. The only annoying thing was the ion gun.
Mm-hmm.
Not that he did much damage, but it was just annoying seeing him hit my thing from like so far away. Because I'd be over there, like right where his mouse is, and that ion gun would be hitting me. Along with, so it was just annoying with that. But there is Valiants at the top right, so you just kind of want to watch out for those. But if you don't go up in that area, they won't chase you. At least with me, they didn't chase me.
Andre there in YouTube chat, he says he uses the bone saw the same way as me for the Vindicator. You see, we put it in the middle of that wee island there. Yeah. Even whenever the acolytes come out, they can't hit you. They're out of range. You have a free hit on it.
That's something that I had not considered. Especially if you're running it electric, then the bone saw will stay still. Or not the bone saw, the Vindicator will stay still.
Yeah, that wee island there, they can't touch you. 3 or 4 come out at the front and just stand there and look at you.
That's something you can do too. If you go to the edge of the map and then you got acolytes or something chasing you, go to the edge of the map and then you can hit them, but they can't hit you. And that's another thing that I even used in one of the higher level bases. I think it was like the Juggernaut base. I had an acolyte chasing me, and I just had a bone saw. And I just went up on the side of the mountain, and he's only got like 300-400 range, and my bone saw's got like 550, I want to say. So I outranged him.
Jump! You've got an evil laugh. So you have.
Say again.
You have an evil laugh. There you go. There you go, Andre. You hear the laugh again.
I want to see this 100.
Yeah, here's another one that oh yeah, see, so those two seekers in the front of this 100, for me, they did not hit my herald. The two by that hunter. Now I didn't check with that bottom left one, but the 2 by the hunter, they didn't hit my herald. Cause I don't think any of the seekers hit my herald, because I remember just hitting the 2 or 3 hunters in this thing and then hitting the AA plasmas. Because, yeah, that's the only thing that hit my air. I don't remember that storyline. So now, any of you guys follow the storyline?
No, I don't bother with that there.
I don't.
I can make my own storyline, though.
Apparently there was a ceasefire, and now the Sentinels ruined it, but a lot of the Sentinels have actually defected, and they're not under Malachi's command anymore. And so the new true believers want to kill the whole sector, but Malachi's like, well, let's convert them instead of killing them. So this should be interesting.
This 100 base is kind of a pain in the ass.
It is. But I think if you ran it, it's electric up and that there would help a lot if you're wanting to go around.
Yeah.
But I always take out the 2 radio towers at the back and then snipe the front.
But I'm doing a 110, and at the moment it's Peacekeeper Heaven.
Is that the final one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a long time though, so it does.
That's all I'm raising for the PK cooldown because, like,
Yeah, no.
look, you want to screen share the 110? That's why everybody sees what base it is.
Yeah, boot me.
I was gonna say I could screen the 110, but it's like almost dead.
Basically, it's the Juggernaut one.
Yes.
Yeah. Put some screen share. Where is it? Nope, that's the wrong one.
So guys, back in 2 minutes.
15 PKs. Yep, this is the one that's PK heaven.
It's getting there at the moment. Like, I gotta put one PK here. I might just come in with my fucking libs, because I've taken out that shitty thing.
Now, to be strategic with this, you can use your. This is what I did. I PK'd all the heavy guns, like the Overwatch, the railguns, and all that, and then I just came in with libs and hammers. Not hammers, Roland, and it's electric, and I was able. Now, that's when I was saying about the Juggernaut. I had my libs at the back left, and I had to kill a turret at the top right. So I sent one lib to the Juggernaut, so this way he would target my lib, and then I moved the rest of them around the back to kill that. I think it was that platoon building at the very, very top. That's all I had left, and I didn't want to waste a PK on it, so I just said, the heck with it, I'll just send libs back there. That was a calculated damage. I sent one lib, so this way the Juggernaut could shoot it, and by the time he turned around to my other libs, the base was done. That's it. I was like, cool.
Well, this one's nearly done. I'm going to go to the purifier coming up. I'll just stand there and wait for the purifier to come.
All right. Well, we showed the 3 bases, kind of verbally talked how to do them, whatever the event stuff. Does anybody have anything else?
Fuck Kicksai.
Before we go ahead and hey, they're trying to be more transparent now. So let's hope they do. But
I'm kidding.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
2.5 hours. All right. Well, let's while we watch you PK this thing to death, let's do some shout outs. So Anton, got any shout outs? No, that's right. He said he was going to be away. David, you got any shout outs?
Thank you all for coming out. Everybody on the panel for showing up, even though some of you were a little late. Everybody out on YouTube for watching. Hunter, here's your shout out. You're still a noob. Go kill off your type. For Andre, yes, I can use his real name because his real name is his game name. Thank you for showing up. I think you had a fun enjoying your first show. Maybe next time we'll get you on it. Other than that, that's about it. Doc, wherever you are, have fun. Drink a beer for me. With that being,
All right. Okay. What was that?
Next.
Oh, okay. Debo.
Oh, yeah. As usual, shout out to everybody on the panel. Special shout out to Dava. Thank you for putting on the show. Appreciate it. Everybody on YouTube and my clan out there, all the assholes. Good luck on everybody's event. I hope you guys have more fun than I am having.
I can just hear the excitement in your voice right now.
I'm just it's so exciting. What's the most exciting about the whole situation is that in about 30 seconds my disruptors will be level 13. And that is just I'm just so close to my goal of getting them to 20 that I'm excited on the inside.
So maybe by Christmas you'll have them to 20.
Oh, I hope so. That would be such a great Christmas present.
Who's this? Oh yeah, Champ. Got a shout out?
Yeah, well, just one. I got a shout out to the sector bar. It's up to 43%. So, cheers.
You left it at 30%, so we're at 32, so we're about an hour and a half or so roughly from that point. So yeah, that's crazy. 10% an hour. Tim, I forget your game name, but do you have a shout out? If you're around. Crickets. Okay, Hulk Smash, you got a shout out?
Shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody that came on. Shout out to YouTube. And 49. That's about it.
All right, Anton, you back yet?
I'm here now. I just wanted to shout out. Good luck, everybody, on the event. I hope you're better at it than I am because I freaking suck.
Oh, that's why we have Hangouts, to make you better and whatnot. Anton, you around?
Unless you need instructions on how to do circles, Hangouts won't help you.
I know. It's spirals that you need to do in that base. Spirals, but I want to see how that base can be done with driving them in circles. I want to see a perfect circle, 360-degree,
Figure eight.
what do you call it? Circumference range measurement, whatever you call it.
So circles or ovals?
Hey, he said he could do circles, perfect circles. So I definitely would like to see a video of that. I'll sit there with a protractor too, and I'll mark out.
Freaking nerd.
Exactly. I'm king of the nerds. I'll sit there with a protractor, make sure it's exactly 360-degree circle, not an oval or any of that nonsense. If you have the skills to drive any unit in a circle, like a perfect circle, like 360-degree circle, that's not ovular or ovular, whatever, however you say that, then yeah. Hulk Smash has another shout out that he wants to give out a shout out to. So I'll let him continue this.
Well, only Dobby will know from this from last night, but shout out to all the pineapples on pizzas.
Pineapple pizza is the worst. I just want to put that out there.
Yes, I know.
Some of our fans would disagree. Some of our fans that are out there on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that eats pineapple.
Hunter, I did have a spreadsheet for the event, but I can't screen share it. So yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of a shame.
People that like pineapples on pizzas are not normal.
It's the topic of the day. You know, it's pizza.
Hey, Diva, do it. You know you want to.
I was gonna say, you want to screen share me? I'll put them to 13 right now.
Yep, you're on screen share.
Yeah.
While we do this, Anton, you got a shout out?
Yeah, just thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody there on YouTube for watching all the constructive comments and all that, and shout out to everybody in 49 as well there. So take care till the next time.
Next time.
All right. Well, I guess it's my turn. Oh yeah, we gotta. Oh, yeah, that's something I don't like. Is
who deleted Suzanne's comment? She loves pineapple on pizza.
Apparently a pineapple pizza hater. So I want to give a shout out to everyone on YouTube. Shout out to the panel. Thanks for coming. Shout out to everyone that gave constructive feedback and all that. And somebody should go, everyone that is on here and listening, whenever you hear this, go make a poll not a poll, but something in the forums letting Kicksai know what you think of the event. And yeah, because Wrong Thinker actually said on one of the polls that, I don't know, what's his name? I can't think of his forum name right now. It's drawing a blank, but
Soko Copper subject.
Broken Dreams, I think it was. Broken Dreams made a poll, and Wrong Thinker put, thanks for making this poll because he's looking for feedback for this event. So go let I think it's against the forum rules to, tag at Wrong Thinker or whatever, but, just go out there and let him know what you thought of the event and improvements that you think can be made, because apparently monk thinkers watching. So join in next. It'll be this Thursday as we do our event wrap-up show. And yeah, if Doc's running it, it'll be about 7 o'clock Eastern. And that's 5 o'clock kickside time if you guys follow kickside time. No, sorry, 4 o'clock kickside time because it's 3 hours before Eastern. So I want to thank you all for coming. Just enjoy your events, get all the prizes that you need, and don't start begging until at least tomorrow, please, guys.
No, Monday.
Oh yeah, today ain't Sunday yet. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, please wait till Monday to do that. Hey, it's Sunday in Australia land, so you know. Tomorrow in Australia, don't start begging until then. But I want to thank everyone for coming out. This is War Commander Unshackled, True Believers Review. We are out. Peace.